We're on. We're on right now. Mark, absolute pleasure. Pleasure to meet you, mate.
You too.
And I think we should give a thank you to Mission Motorsport for inviting us to the event, which is mega. For people watching, if you're in background noise, it's because we got fast cars going past. We're in Silverstone, next to the... Do you call it the pit straight?
Yeah, start finish.
The home straight, pit straight thing. Anyway, it's not about the pit straight, it's about Mark today. Look at the enthusiasm. Right. Mark White.
Yep.
Who did you serve with?
12 years with the RLC and 8 years MPGS.
When did you leave?
December 2018.
When did you leave RLC?
2009, early. February 2009.
What was that like, getting out then?
That was a tough time for me. Initially it was really good. I moved to the States, things were really good. And then it didn't work out. Came back, tried to rejoin. It was the height of the recession. Yeah. I think Veng was a new thing at the time. So lots of people were staying on towards the end of their career. I was trying to get back in and the vacancies just weren't there.
Yeah, I forgot about Veng. Lots of people getting back in. There's like a bounty as well, isn't there?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the end of MPGS.
So that's when I tried to rejoin RLC. At the time, I'd only been out officially on paper about 8 months as a up and thrusting sergeant. Thought it wouldn't be an issue to rejoin, but it was. So I ended up joining the reserves, deploying to Afghan with my old unit, trying to come in through the back door. But whilst I was out on tour, the SDSR came out and they were reducing my trade down to a third. So I knew that there was no chance to rejoin.
What was your trade?
Postal and courier operator.
A what?
Postal and courier operator. Posting.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm partially left. Right. Fucking hell. RLC, it's like any. It's got probably the most diverse range of jobs massively. In the RLC. It's unbelievable. Like if you want to go somewhere for a trade or some like skill that isn't Bakshi soldier stuff, RLC engineers. I reckon. I don't know. You reckon?
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and it's quite easy, or it used to be quite easy to transfer between the different trades under the same cap badge. So had you
been up to Afghan before when you were out of the reserves?
No, I've been to Iraq before in 2003, but not Afghan at the time.
What was it? We've got straight off the questions here. What was it like? What was it like serving an operation when you were regular compared to serving an operation when you were reserve attached to a regular unit? What was that like?
So I was a regular when I went to Iraq. And that was quite early on in the conflict. So I went out in January, came back in June or July. So there wasn't a lot of infrastructure. You'd find when you'd move forwards, you were just setting up a base. So there was nothing there, no facilities. So although it was quite good, even as a loggy, to try and be out towards the front, doing a little bit more war-y stuff than what you would be doing back home, there was zero infrastructure. So towards the end, I'd kind of had enough, to be honest.
Mm. That was Iraq?
Yeah, 2003.
But what I mean is, going out and serving as a reserve attached to you.
So it was okay. It wasn't a huge difference because when I deployed as a reservist, it was with a load of regular guys that I knew.
Yeah, I knew them, right? Yeah. Lucky in that respect. How many reserves did they have attached? How many of you reserves?
There was going to be 2 of us that went out.
Oh, okay.
But the other one didn't go for whatever reason, so it was just myself.
Oh, that's good. I remember, all the times we had reserves attached to us in different tours, we always had loads of them. We always need to bolster up. I think that goes back to the retention and recruitment problem there was. So when we were deploying, our units were always undermanned. I think we were Afghan. The first time, it was like, we must have had 20, 30, 40 reserves attached. Yeah. And then we had also some non-power reg infantry units attached.
I think the unit that deployed before us that we took over from, I think that was a reservist unit. That we took over from, so that's possibly why there wasn't many when I went.
Okay, got you. Right, so can we pull this back on to the questions? If you can remember the most amusing memory, and the reason I ask this question is when you hear veterans talk about stuff to CivPop, a lot of time focuses on the really tough stuff, the hard stuff, the serious stuff. But some of our most amusing story, when you go down the pub with your old colleagues, mate, there'll be stories coming out left, right, and Chelsea. Is there anything that particularly sticks in mind? The last person out on the Snapshot, he was on about people getting flipping nicked and all sorts of stuff. Someone with a pipe bomb in his room.
Yeah, it's not my proudest moment. I tried to do I think it's the first and only time I've ever tried to do it. Was sorry mum, a runner from a taxi in Egypt, and we had it set. We knew exactly what we were going to do. We got him to drop us off at the top of the hill. We were going to run down the side and then bomb it into camp. And as soon as we went to bomb burst out the car, we realised it had no door handles on the inside. So it didn't go very well. So there was no door handle on my side. So I don't want to name him, or do, Dan. He
got out.
He got out. There was a door handle on his side. He jumped out, ran around. It was obvious I was panicking. So the taxi driver knew exactly what was going on, but I was pretty drunk, so I was unaware. By the time he'd let me out, he was on to us.
What?
And, we got collared the next morning.
What, in camp?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
That's not good. But also, I reckon that an Egyptian taxi isn't that expensive.
Probably not, but I didn't have my thinking head on.
Mate, brilliant. Let's flip that then. Toughest experience so far?
While serving?
Not necessarily. What has been your toughest experience?
Probably a little bit of a toss-up between coming towards the end of my time in Iraq. Just didn't want to be there anymore. It was pretty rough. I know there was guys out there that had it really tough.
What year was this out there?
2003.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
The last sort of 6 weeks or so, which seemed like a really long time. I didn't want to be there.
Where were you based?
Ended up in Alamara.
Not a nice place at all in 2003, was it?
No, the memory's a little bit vague. Yeah. But yeah, I was ready to leave.
Alamara is where all the RMPs got shot up.
That's right. I was there for that. Yeah.
Oh, that was 2005. Was it 2003? Was it?
There was an incident with RMPs in 2003.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
I think it was 2005. I think the book came out about it. I remember that. 5 or 6 of them were shot.
That's right. Yeah.
Killed. Yeah, that was Alamara. Yeah, not a nice place, mate. Not a nice place. Did you have a camp? Was it as in a big camp? Because
it wasn't big.
It was a school they were operating out of for a while, wasn't it?
I think it was an old airport. I think I'm sure it had an air traffic control centre. It was disused, but I'm sure it was an old airfield, an old air base.
Yeah. A lot of the people, when I ask that question, they will highlight something to do with transition, leaving the military. As a tough experience. You think, Jesus, there's people like yourself and them as well have experienced hideous times on operations, but then they'll come back to the actually trying to transition to civilian life. It's hard.
Yeah, so when
I'm not suggesting that's the case for you.
No, it would have been a toss-up between coming towards the end of my time in Iraq and when I left in 2009 as a fairly thrusting young sergeant doing well. Thought I could rejoin only 8-9 months later and carry on where I left off. I thought I was quite employable, but nobody was rejoining the military at the time. I knew the recruitment guy in the careers office that was trying to help me. He gave it to me pretty frank and was like, it's not going to happen. I had a friend who worked in Glasgow who'd seen my application and was like, I'm really sorry, mate, it's not going to happen. He recommended joining the reserves with TA at the time and doing the tour, which is why I did that. But unfortunately that didn't work either. And then trying to gain regular employment, I ended up working in a felt factory where everyone who finished school started.
Yeah.
I was cutting felt with people that were taking drugs in the toilet at lunchtime. It was really tough to find something half reasonable at the time. But second time round, a completely different story.
Which is where you are now.
Yep.
Go on then.
So, project manager / workshop manager for the Figaro Shop. We're based in Didcot, Oxfordshire. Yeah. And we restore classic cars, but mainly Nissan Figaros.
Were you a car buff before?
Yeah, always been, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. How did you end up at Figaro then?
So they were advertising, so they're where I settled, they're based, and they were recruiting for a workshop manager / project manager. I saw an advert on one of the recruiting websites. It was quite old. It was about 3 months old. I read it and it seemed to fit me really well. I assumed it would be gone, but I applied anyway. And then a couple of days later, I had an email from Toby, the boss man, asking if he could have a quick phone call to see if it was worth getting me in. So
Go on.
Replied back straight away, had a quick chat, probably not even 10 minutes on the phone, invited me in for an interview with the general manager and the guy that I took over from. Maybe even that week, went in for about an hour and a half. Everything seemed to go really well, completely different than when I left previously. It was really, really smooth. I'd had a couple of interviews previously for some other jobs which went well, and I think they really helped prepare me for this one. Also, this one was a lot more in tune with my interests, and not so much my skills, but certainly my interests. And I was invited back to meet with Toby and the general manager again.
And what role was this for?
Workshop manager.
Workshop manager. Come on, Toby. Come on. Did you, is that alright if we invite your boss up?
As long as he says nice things, yeah.
No, this is interesting because, if you're in the camera, it's interesting because you're, in fact, what's your surname?
Brooks.
Toby Brooks.
Yeah.
Right, so what's interesting to me here is you were looking to recruit more ex-military, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
So what was attractive about not about him?
Yeah.
About the,
no, it's right. What is attractive? No.
Why are you looking for more ex-military?
So I think that teams that are more productive are diverse, and we always try and recruit from different backgrounds. So we've got people that might have entrepreneurial backgrounds. We've got some people that come from our industry, but people that come from all over the place. And one of the really big skills that you get from people that have come from the military is the sort of growth mindset and the way that they can put their mind to things, solve problems. Also, company culture and team building is really important to us, and it comes instilled in people like Mark. And so it's important for us to find more people that have got those skills, and also if it's helping people that are having a hard time transitioning into normal working life, then we know that it's good for society as well. So and that really works for us as a company. If it's positive for society and it's positive for our business as well, then it ticks all the boxes. So that's why.
Yeah, true. My day job is about for him in Marsat. So Satcom's company is one of the reasons I'm here today. I'm here under HR guys, and with them, they see the same thing with a diverse background. And absolutely right. One of the things I've come to learn and understand over the last, I've been with them just over a year now, is how important diversity is. But the fact that I can learn as much from a civilian as they can from me, because of my Mr. Brainiac or them, or they're Mr. and Mrs. Brainiac.
Yeah, definitely.
You just got such different backgrounds and experiences, and it's cross training. That's what it is, and just bring that experience that that they would otherwise never get to experience, and vice versa. And it makes the workplace a much better, more productive workplace.
Yeah, definitely.
So Figaro's looking for how many people?
So we've got 25 people, and we've got quite a lot of growth over the next year or so. And so that was why we decided we did an event at Formula One that was a sort of forces awareness day at Williams, which was nice. And then we met some people there, and they recommended this event, and we signed the covenant and stuff. And we think that it's a nice route to take. So we've met as many people as we can today. Other agencies that will hopefully, CTP and people like that might be able to help us, and we can help them. So.
Yeah, definitely. You obviously tied in with James Cameron as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I know James from before. I've done some of this before, like driving cars and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's good about this sort of veterans community at the minute, especially where work's concerned. It seems to me like companies, whether they're veteran-owned companies or not, who are interested in employing veterans or supporting veterans, the lines of communication between companies who might otherwise be competitors is very positive lines of communication. So when I said earlier, I mentioned you about another company, have you thought about speaking to them? Because even though they're also in a similar area to what you are, they may be able to provide you advice on where you can get certain veterans from, which is good. It's positive.
We definitely found that today. There's a really nice atmosphere, isn't there? And some of the guys we were speaking to, the guy at Per Temps and stuff, even though
everyone wants to help,
they would want to, that would be a transaction for them. They're just happy to help.
That's good.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more about Figaro? options?
So they can just look up the Figaro Shop online on Facebook or on type the Figaro Shop in and you'll get us on
Insta.
Google. Yeah, on Insta, anywhere. But if they contacted me or Mark at the Figaro Shop, we could talk to them about opportunities. We've got a page on our the front of our website that's got job opportunities, but there's a lot more than the jobs that are actually on there. So if somebody thinks that they're interested in classic cars and they want to join a team and join a culture that's going to, they're going to do productive work and feel good when they get out of bed, even if they haven't got the skill set, we'd love to just talk to them. And they're obviously, we've got Mark that will help people to transition because he's done the journey, and we'd love to be able to help people and grow our team. So
Good, yeah. Absolute pleasure. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Good luck.
thanks, man.
And, yeah, good luck. See. All right.